Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name is GBay99. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Today, we're back with another video that I'm pretty excited for. Today, we're going to be talking about how to identify when a champion is actually overpowered and when a champion just seems overpowered, but you just need to get better as a player and learn how to play against them. On top of that, we're going to be doing a lot of fun analysis, looking at champions that are underpowered, champions that are super skill expressive, champions that are really boring, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. This is something that a lot of you may already know. A lot of you may already use this League of Legends stat site, so you may already be aware of this, but I just found this out before I got sick, so bear with me here. To cut to the chase though, today we're going to be looking at win rates for certain champions, but comparing them based off of tiers. So normally when you go to a league stat site and you're looking at win rates, you're only seeing the win rates for a specific tier. If you're looking at OPGG, you're only looking at the win rates for Platinum and above. If you're using Champion.gg, you're just seeing win rates for Platinum and above, or you can look at individual win rates for lower tiers. But recently I've started looking at LoLalytics, which is an interesting site since they chart all of the different win rates by tier and show you how they go day by day. Now, this is only a 6 or 7 day margin, so it's a pretty small sample size and you can't necessarily get concrete evidence that certain champions are overpowered and certain champions are underpowered and 100% need to be buffed or nerfed, but you can see some really interesting correlation. Let's go ahead and get on with it though and jump into some examples, starting off with Sejuani, where here we can see that Sejuani has a pretty high win rate in every single tier that she's played in. Not only does Sejuani have a well above 50% win rate in Diamond and higher, but even in every other rating, she doesn't have that much of a difference in terms of her win rate. So this sort of suggests that Sejuani is overpowered right now. That could be because of the tank meta or whatever other reason, but she's clearly able to perform incredibly well, and there isn't too much skill expression with the champion. It doesn't take that many mechanics or anything, so you don't see super skilled and highly mechanical players in Diamond having so much more success with her than you see Bronzes having. Conversely, if you want to see an example of a champion who's very underpowered right now, we can take a look at Graves's graph. Graves's graph is kind of interesting where, again, similarly, we can see that every single tier is playing him at below a 50% win rate, but the highest win rate that he's getting in any tier is in Bronze, and you can see a pretty solid correlation where the better and better the opponents he's playing against, the worse and worse he ends up doing. So in Bronze, you might be able to get close to a 50% win rate, but by the time you're in Diamond, you're barely cracking a 46% win rate on most days. That's pretty interesting since that suggests that Graves is only ever able to find any amount of success playing against the worst players that the game has to offer. The next champion we're looking at here, Camille, has a graph that's almost the complete opposite of Graves, where Diamond players have the highest win rates with Camille and Bronze players have the lowest. This suggests that Camille is a very skill expressive champion where if you're really bad and you don't really know how to use her abilities or pull off her combos, then you're not going to find much success with her and get well below a 50% win rate. But Diamond players who are able to pull off those combos and use her kit to her most effective are able to get a decently high win rate, almost above 50% by a percent or so every single day. And you can see a pretty clear correlation as your skill increases, the chance of you being able to perform well with Camille does so as well. So for the most part, this seems like a pretty healthy and well-balanced champion right now. No crazy win rates, and if you're good with her, you can perform well. That's kind of the ideal champion design. Let's go ahead and look at an example that sort of fits into the title of this video so we're not clickbaiting you guys too hard. Now, I'm not too sure what the ratings are of the viewers that I have. There's no YouTube analytic that shows me that, but I would wager there's probably a fair amount of Bronze players watching me right now, maybe 1,000 Bronze players or so that are top lane mains and play ranked on a regular basis. Now, of those Bronze players, some of you think that Garen is overpowered. The reason I believe that is because Garen is played pretty often in Bronze, and he also has a surprisingly high ban rate in Bronze, and even in Silver and Gold, his ban rate is a lot higher than what it should be. If we take a look at his win rates, first, it kind of makes sense because in Bronze, he has well above a 50% win rate, and even in Silver as his win rate is above 50%. But as you see him being played against better and better players in gold and platinum and diamond, his win rate drops dramatically to a point where when he's being played in diamond, people know how to beat him, people know how to play against him, and he doesn't really have much success at all, it seems. This suggests that even though there's probably plenty of bronze players out there that think Garen is really strong and really frustrating to play against, he's not actually that good, and if you know how to play against him, if you understand the game well, you'll be able to beat him. Let's take a look at a few more champions graphs, because there are some interesting ones out there and some other patterns that you can see some interesting stats being told, and this is really fun to do. I don't know if you guys are enjoying this, but I get a kick out of this kind of stuff. Tryndamere has maybe my favorite graph of this entire site. You can see his graph is a little bit all over the place, but consistently, bronze players and diamond players trade off for the highest win rate for the most part. Platinum players and silver players are in the middle, and gold players have the least success with Tryndamere. So what's going on here? Well, I think this is suggesting one of two things. Tryndamere is best played either in bronze, where your opponents are really, really bad and you can just right-click them and then end up dealing a lot of damage and winning team fights, or he's best played in diamond if you're super good with him and you can use him to split push really effectively, which are two completely different play styles, but they're sort of two extremes that both work out really well based off of the opponent that you're playing against. If your opponents are really, really bad, you can take advantage of that, or if you're really, really good, you can take advantage of that. But if you're in gold and you're kind of good at the game, but your opponents are also decently good, then you're not going to be able to find nearly as much success as if you're in one of those two extremes, which I think is pretty interesting and kind of funny. Kog'Maw's graph also has a similarly kind of funny thing going on with it, where I assume that Kog'Maw players are either at their best when they're in bronze and they can afford to just press W and AFK, or if they're in diamond and they're super good at auto attack click moving, which is again a similar sort of graph situation that you see showing up here. Here are some support graphs for Janna, Sona, and Soraka if you're curious about what their win rates are. They're about as you'd expect in the current meta, just well above 50%, and no differential whatsoever between the ratings. I mean, it does not take too much to do well with these supports in the current meta that the game has, which is really frustrating to see. Finally, a few more interesting picks. A collie is surprisingly skill-oriented. This is her graph, which is one of the cleanest graphs you can see. She very clearly does much better in higher ratings than she would in lower ratings, which is surprising to me since she doesn't have any skill shots. I mean, I don't think there's any difficult combo for her to pull off. It's kind of easy to use her abilities, but apparently you have to be good to use her effectively. Conversely, Fiora is apparently not as hard to play as I thought she was. She does a lot better in bronze, silver, and gold than she does in diamond. Diamond players seem to struggle with her a little bit, but maybe this has something to do with just playing against better players that don't always proc her W for free or something. Lastly, want to see the best top laner in the game apparently? Singed. I had no idea Singed was this good. I mean, he has such a high win rate, and for the most part, he can be played pretty well in every rating. I mean, these are the kind of support graphs of overpoweredness that we saw earlier. I had no idea Singed was this good. I'm going to have to start picking him up and maybe make a few videos on him. Anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed watching today's video. I had a lot of fun making it and always enjoy doing goofy little videos like this. Don't take anything I said today too seriously, since, of course, these are very small sample sizes of just a couple days worth of games, not even the win rates over an entire patch. And if I say some champion is overpowered or not, I mean, these win rates do sort of suggest that, but it's not necessarily law that Riot needs to buff or nerf some characters I mentioned. Context is key with win rates and all that kind of jazz, so just remember that. Don't take this too seriously. I hope you guys all enjoyed watching today's video. I will be back with another video tomorrow that I hope you're all looking forward to. I'll see you all then, but until then, thank you very much for watching. Good luck in solo queue, and have a wonderful day.